Bloodlines comics. So, at the start of this one, we're getting right into the action, and you just skip right into where Hal Jordan and Kyle Rayner are having their big Green Lantern clash. They wind up fighting for quite some time. There's a lot of things said, but nothing really into too particular. I definitely recommend buying the book and reading it if you really want to know, though. But as they're going through doing that, Hal Jordan is trying to mine for more power. In doing so, they wind up going into like kind of a central area to the home of Oa, I think it is, like the heart of it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nick. Am I correct on that one?
Yep, it's OA. So, they're trying to get really down into the mining. Hal Jordan is because he wants more power. So,
yeah, it's one of his big downfalls. So whenever they get into there, he tries tempting Kyle Rayner into joining sides with him, with the loss of his girlfriend and trying to really make a huge impact on him by using his heart. Fortunately enough, though, Kyle Rayner does not side with him on any of this. And they wind up defeating Hal Jordan. Well, not only defeating him, but killing him, which we'll find out later on with how that truly goes. And then due to that, you continue on into the issue after that one, which is where...
Oh, real quick. No, I just wanted to cover... I know there's a lot in this section, but I think one of the biggest parts in this issue was it actually shows Hal Jordan, and he's starting to get sad because when he rolls over, they're back on Oa, and Kilowog, his trainer, and our best friend is actually, it shows the skull and the skeleton of him, and he starts getting sad because he knows he did wrong, but at the same time that hurt really it really hurts him, and so it just basically drives him more into trying to make it right, and it's making him more insane on top of that. And another thing you said, Kyle Rayner doesn't side with him, but at first Kyle Rayner does decide with him, and he actually gives the ring back to Hal Jordan. And then all of a sudden he's like, Kyle Rayner's like, oh, I messed up. And they go through this, chase scene and stuff, and Kyle Rayner ends up getting the ring back.
I thought it was because that he wasn't truly siding with him. I thought that was because Hal Jordan really was like, I can make this right. I can make this right. And he kept on repeating that, I thought, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he kept on repeating.
He kind of made it, he was kind of starting to go back to where it was like, I'm a good guy. Yeah, but then with that power, it's like the insanity sparked back in.
Yeah, as soon as Kyle Rayner gave him the ring, it just... all of a sudden, it clicked. And like you said, it's that power hungry, it's driven. And when Kyle Rayner started seeing that he was going back to try and, do this, Kyle Rayner was like, oh, crap. I screwed up. But yeah. He eventually gets the ring back, and, like you said, they ended up destroying Oa and killing Hal Jordan, which leaves Kyle Rayner to believe he's the only Green Lantern left.
Which he is the only Green Lantern left.
Yep.
But, yeah, I get what you're saying there. Because there's still some alive, but they no longer have power.
And that leads into the force. Yeah, that leads into the next issue, which you were about to begin.
Yes, which I was saying is since they're out at Oa, Kyle Rayner doesn't know his way home. So he's lost in space and away from Earth, trying to figure out what's going on. A lot of people speaking different languages, and so he doesn't have a way home, and he winds up running into one of those Green Lanterns that are left behind, but with no power. What was her name? Kira?
Adara.
Adara, that's what.
But I think in the comics she says, just call me Dara. So, but yeah, he runs into Dara, and they have a little moment, and they're basically trying to make each other feel better, and that they understand. Well, he ends up falling asleep, and when he wakes up, his ring's gone. She stole it. So it's kind of ironic. They go in and he goes into the bar and he's asking him, you want another drink? And Kyle Rayner says, yeah. So the drink is actually called Two Moons Fizz. And it clicks in his head because she talks about looking at the moons. And so he goes to the spot they were at, and she's sitting there and she's upset because the ring isn't working for her. Which it doesn't work for her because it only works for Kyle Rayner, and that's when he kind of figures that out. And she gives it back. They have a moment, and he's trying to convince, hey, come along with me. There's so much more. And she tells him to just leave. And as he's leaving, he hears a gunshot in the background and turns around, and she whacks herself or, kills herself. So it's kind of heart-wrenching for a second. So
yeah, it was a very sad moment. Never really liked to see that so much in characters, but I guess it just gets the point across of how whenever you become a Green Lantern, it's more so it makes you who you are too.
Yep.
Especially for so long.
Yep, and I think he says in the issue too that the sacrifices outweigh the whatever, but at the same time, that's just you're being a hero. You got to deal with your own stuff. We've seen it time and time and again through different comics and characters and stuff. So,
which then. After that, we move on to they include the Rebels, an issue from the Rebels series, which has the infamous Lobo. It's got a couple other characters I can't remember names of, but we're not really going to touch too much on that because it's kind of out of context. Even though Green Lantern's is included in that issue, it doesn't really help out too much, but the Rebels are running away from their home planet because the new Emperor is trying to kill them, even though they're the good guys, because it's a guy who took over. Like I said, we're not going to get into it too much, but pretty much Green Lantern's stuck in the middle trying to figure out who the real bad guy is. And even though he does help out the good guys are kind of the gray in between point, and they use some immoral tactics to try and sort out the problem, and he winds up being angry and leaving him there. So you want to lead us into the Titans issue?
Yeah. So basically, after that, the Rebels issue, it goes into it says farewell, and he goes to his old girlfriend's grave, and this is we skip the Rebels like Colton said just because it kind of ties in, but not really. So. Skip straight. He's back home. He's in LA, and his girlfriend Alex, she wanted to go to New York, so he's telling her, "Hey, I found an apartment in New York, and I'm going to get a job out there," and that leads him to meeting a villain called Psimon. And Psimon, I think they said it's called the Fearsome Five, and it leads him to the Titans because Psimon wants to kill all the Titans. So it leads into the Titans. It's pretty. There's so much information on this. And like Colton said earlier, if you really want to know everything and all the little details, we highly recommend you buy the book. If I could find a picture, Colt. Let's see. Psimon is he's kind of creepy looking in my opinion. He's got that big old brain that comes out. And, it leads into the Titans, and basically Psimon is controlling Green Lantern. He possesses Green Lantern and uses Green Lantern to get to the Titans. And then if you want to finish up what happens after that, Colt.
Which there's a lot of storyline for the Teen Titans characters that go on, and Simon's torturing them specifically. So... really, in the end, he winds up breaking free. The Titans break free from Control 2, and they wind up fighting Psimon together. And that pretty much ends that series, and that brings the ending of the book, or brings this book to a close. Go ahead.
Those are the Titans right there, so.
Yeah,
And that's only a
Kid
handful.
Flash, and yeah, I don't even think that was all of them, but
No, it's only a handful of them, and it doesn't include like Robin and all them. So
yeah, I don't really like whenever they just give you those 1 or 2 issues. Really, to understand the series, I like to do what we're doing with this one with Rayner. You just read everything that's Kyle Rayner, and hopefully we get some time to get into the Teen Titans, because I've always liked Teen Titans. They're always really cool.
oh yeah, they talk about Robin, and Nightwing is one of our favorites. So
yeah, so so hopefully we'll move on to Volume 2. We're not sure what we're doing exactly next. I was hoping Doom Patrol to take a break from Green Lantern, and then we'll probably do a Volume 2 of Kyle Rayner, or we'll move on to Hal Jordan. So definitely stay tuned with us on that. And if you guys are looking for a place to buy this Green Lantern Kyle Rayner Volume 1, Comic Book University is definitely one I'd recommend.
Yep, that's in Southport. Or do they have a chain?
I think they do have a chain, but I don't know if there's another one in Indiana.
Okay, yeah, but that's the guy you and I have been going to for years, and we really like him. So
yeah, he's one of my favorite places to go to. Very nice guy. It's a very nice area. Very nice store. He's got a huge selection. Everything's easy to access. Access to back issues even, and it's great. Just a great place to be, because I know there's a lot of small comic books, not to bash on them or anything, comic book stores, but they make it a little bit difficult to get to certain things. So, but this guy, cool.
Yeah, and he does all the board games and card games and stuff like that. If you're into that, so I mean he's got it really all. So he's got a really great setup. That's the reason you and I go to him. So.
Yep. So stay tuned. We're definitely going to cover some more comic books. We're just getting into just getting into it. So.
Yep, and that wraps it up. Green Lantern, Volume 1.
You guys have a nice day.
See ya.